just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you how you can get almost $250 worth of free bonuses that will teach you how to improve your desire, how to have more libido, how to get the right tests done to figure out the root causes of low libido from a physical perspective. This is for men and women. And you do this by pre-ordering a copy of my book. My book is coming out in late fall. Projected date is November 1st. And in my book, we're going to talk about all sorts of physical root causes for low libido, how to help pelvic pain, how to help erectile dysfunction, how to help vaginal dryness, how to do this together in your partnerships, and so much more. And when you pre-order a copy, I am giving you almost $250 worth of bonuses right away for your support. So to get that, you simply go to wanttowantit.com or look in the show notes for that direct link. So wanttowantit.com, the name of my book. Now back to our show. Hey everybody, Dr. Diane here, talking about whether or not monogamy is natural. This conversation is coming up a lot. I think in part because of a movement of many people in trying to save their relationships, save their marriages by opening them up. And there's a huge argument around, is monogamy natural or not? I hear sometimes people say things that's natural for women, but not for men. I hear people say it's natural for men, not for women. What I see is that it's not about gender. It is about your makeup. Meaning what we've seen in studies on prairie voles. Prairie voles have a tendency to mate for life. And studies on prairie voles have shown that whether or not they are monogamous, which they tend to be, or not, is based largely upon the vasopressin receptor of their brain. So vasopressin is one of the hormones that gets released during bonding with partnerships. The more receptors that animals' brains tend to have, the more bonding they have. So basically, if I have a higher amount of vasopressin receptors in my brain, the vasopressin works better on a cellular level, is stronger, is the easiest way to look at it, and therefore it has more of a tendency to bond me stronger to that human and drive me towards a monogamous relationship. For what they find in these studies is when they alter the receptors, when they alter the vasopressin, now there's less bonding, that all of a sudden that species that tend to be monogamous all of a sudden are not. All of a sudden are essentially open. So I do personally believe that our history, our culture, nurture in the nature versus nurture, like all of those things impact this greatly. But perhaps one of the biggest things is really truly our wiring. And so for some people, they may be wired more where open relationships is more of their tendency because they have less of this chemical in their brain, versus others may be wired more towards monogamy because they have more of this chemical in their brain, right? So I really don't think it's necessarily about gender or these other things. I think it's a wiring thing. Now, I will say that oftentimes when people are driven to these kind of relationships, it is out of fantasy, right? It's out of like the desire for newness, for novelty. Maybe there's a sexual need that's not getting met. Maybe they're bored, right? There's a lot of different things that can drive people to these relationships. And one of the things that I have found, like so many things, is trying to put a Band-Aid on over here does not tend to fix the relationship. Right? So the idea is sometimes when we go outside of a relationship, if there's a problem, it actually makes that problem bigger. And so it's really important in considering that to also work on your current relationship. And many times that I find that when people are considering like, hey, there's something that I want that I'm not getting, right, in our relationship, then we want to take a step back and say, well, what are we not getting, right? So often couples are not prioritizing each other. And it's almost like the inevitable death of a relationship if we are not putting our partner at priority, or if they don't feel like they're at priority. If you haven't taken a minute yet to go to wanttowantit.com to get your bonuses, almost $250 worth of free bonuses for pre-ordering my book, I recommend you do that now. We're going to go through so many reasons and so many solutions to fixing low libido for both men and women. It is action-packed with solutions from supplements to diet to lifestyle to lab tests you should talk to your doctor about to physical routines you can change. So many things designed to help support estrogen and testosterone and circulation and erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, so much more. So if you go to wanttowantIt.com, you can find that book for pre-order, and you can also then take advantage of the almost $250 worth of bonuses I am giving away for pre-order that will not be available for long. Now let's get back to our episode. And some of this is not spending time with them. Some of this is not being there emotionally. And some of it is not being there physically and sexually. So, it's really, it can be an awe-inspiring or kind of like a shocking exercise sometimes to write out your value list of your top priorities. First of all, see if your partner in your mind is even in that top priority category, or at least real close to it. And then do a pie chart. Make a pie chart of the day and make 24 pieces of pie in this pie chart, representing every hour of the day. And so then you're going to take 7 to 9 hours out, because hopefully you're sleeping that much. Fill in the rest of the slots of the day. Do you have your partner in there at all? Right? And this is a real big, important aha moment, because this exercise oftentimes, it shows that, we are saying we value this person, but yet our time is saying something different. And we pick up on this, right? This is a huge indicator to where relationships is going if we're not prioritizing it. And so what often can happen is in situations where people do decide to open up their relationship, if they haven't fixed prioritizing their current relationship, one huge thing with that is then it can lead to feeling even less of a priority, because now this time that is basically non-existent is now being made for these other people. So it can come back and say, hey, wow, you don't value me at all. That can be the feeling. So I'm not guiding you one way or another here. I'm personally a huge fan of monogamy, but I'm also a huge fan of people being matched with a person that shares their relationship goals, right? That shares their values, that shares their relationship style. And whether it's two people in a monogamous relationship, an open relationship, the biggest fundamental thing beyond is this natural or not, the more important questions here are, why are you driven one way versus another? What is important to you in a relationship? What is important to you in your partnership? Why is it important? And being able to keep your relationship strong. Remember, a lot of times why people are fantasizing about this is because they're bored. Go download my yes, no, maybe checklist. I have that for you for a reason. That's at mysexdoc.com. It's there to give you ideas of things that you can do to create novelty in your life and to create novelty in your relationship, to get out of the rut of things. So again, that's at mysexdoc.com. But no matter what you're thinking about here, one of the most important questions really is the why, right? If you're thinking like, hey, the relationship needs to be spiced up, or hey, you're fantasizing about another person, or hey, you're interested in trying a different relationship style, why? Right? Why? What? And so oftentimes it's questions or it's answers like, well, I want more connection. I want to feel loved. I want to feel passion again, right? I want my partner to prioritize me. I want to feel like I'm somebody's number one again. So when you get your why, then the question is, do you need to be in a different type of relationship or not? Some people, when they get their whys, then they bring it back to their partner and it's like, oh, now I know what I want to work towards. Now, are you on the same page with me with working towards that? Because if your value list and your pie chart are not adding up, you are probably on a track of things not turning out very well in the end. Because the moment we really feel like we are not a priority in our beloved's life, the moment we start looking elsewhere to fill in that gap so we can feel priority, so we can feel useful, so we can feel love. All of these are human desires, right? All of these are human needs. And so when we come back to that why, most importantly, we really come back to say, oh, what is most important in my relationship? And can I talk to my partner to bring more of that in? Go download my checklist, mysexdoc.com. See you all soon.